Anthony Cohen Jr., and Jalen Smith. Smith became Maryland's 13th AP All-American after totaling 21 double-doubles from the season, third nationally while ranking second in the Big Ten in rebounds, 10.5 a game, and block shots at 2.4 a game. So that was pretty amazing. Now, if you guys want to go see the trophy and the ring, I'll go to www.marylandterrapins.com. That's www.marylandterrapins.com. When I get back, I'm talking more college football. And to end my Monday, I'll discuss a couple of games that you might not want to miss tonight. So you'll be listening to the College Sports Report here on E-Radio WMCR. I'll be back. Welcome back to the College Sports Report here on E-Radio WMCR. Now, for all of you who don't know, University of Maryland will keep fans out of the stands for their football games when it starts the season this upcoming week. Per requirement by the Big Ten Conference, it comes after Governor Larry Hogan announced that outdoor sporting venues across the state could start holding limited attendance for in-person seating. On the Maryland Terps Athletics Department's website, it shows that the decision between having fans and not comes down to guidance from the affiliated athletics conference and guidance from Prince George's County. Prince George's County has also provided the Washington football team guidance too, with FedEx Field located in Landover, Maryland. So Maryland football will play a 9-game season within the Big Ten and will play no non-conference games. Other conferences in the FBS/Power 5 conferences have had in-person attendance since the beginning of the season, meaning thousands have been able to go to college football games. But some schools and conferences have been stricter about how many people they have allowed in the stands. So student sections for some have been halfway to two-thirds full during games. But college football has been impacted by the coronavirus this season as well. So multiple teams have had to reschedule games due to positive tests. So Capital One Field at Maryland Stadium is where the Terps football team plays. It is not known if Maryland will have fans in the stands at all this fall. But you can get a cutout put in the stadium. Yeah, so cut out pictures of like the fans' faces, like what the NBA used to do. They used to do the Zoom where people will be cheering for you virtually, have like the fans and then like the fans. But that's something that the NFL and college has incorporated into their whole social distance tactic for getting the fans, like just stay home and look at the games, so that way you don't be coming out and spreading your germs, your COVID germs, anything like that in the stands, So yeah, so anyway, so the 2020 Maryland Terrapins football schedule, dates, times, and matchups originally appeared on NBC Sports Washington. It didn't seem like it was going to happen for a few months, but the Maryland Terrapins will play college football in 2020. So with the Big Ten moving to a conference-only 8-game schedule amid the coronavirus pandemic, every game will be crucial as the Terps look to finally turn the tide under head coach Mike Locksley. Now here's a look at the Terps' 2020 football schedule with dates, times, and matchups. Quick fact, more information on dates and times to be updated as the team announces details. So the 2020 Maryland football schedule as follows. October 24th, Maryland will visit Northwestern at 7:30 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. Now, the Big Ten Network is probably on MASN, on FS1, or whenever you have a Big Ten Network on your TV set. So October 30th, Maryland is home for Minnesota, and that's a homecoming game. The time, 7:30 p.m., and that will be televised locally on More Than Only channel, ESPN. November 7th, Maryland at Penn State. That time is to be determined, and the TV channel is to be determined. November 14th, Maryland visits Ohio State. Well, Maryland is home to Ohio State. The time to be determined, TV channel, that is to be determined as well. November 21st, right before Thanksgiving, Maryland will be home to host Michigan State. But that time is to be determined, and the TV channel is to be determined. November 28th, the day after Thanksgiving, Maryland will visit Indiana. That time is to be determined, and that TV channel is to be determined. December 5th, Maryland visits Michigan. Time TBD, channel to be determined. December 12th, Maryland hosts the Rutgers. Time to be determined, and the TV channel is to be determined. And that is all for the Maryland football team scheduled for the fall semester. Now, the first game is apparently this Saturday, November 24th. So, rather if you're gonna come to the game, just be safe, stay home, look at the game. The next game is October 30th. That's gonna be that Friday when Maryland is home to Minnesota, November 7th. So the games in November, December are to be determined. But again, coronavirus, we don't know what's gonna happen. So, so I'm glad I'm glad I was able to tell you a little bit about the games and how you can watch them and stream them. So moving on. So the Maryland Terrapins football team is very excited to get back out on the field. So they'll open their season October 24th against Northwestern. The Big Ten Conference, which includes Maryland, canceled its football season in August due to concerns with handling COVID-19, only to resume their season in September. So the conference commissioner, Kevin Warren, starting at the time, was our focus with the task force over the last 6 weeks was to ensure the health and safety of our student athletes. He says that our goal has always been a return to competition so all student athletes can realize their dream of competing in the sports they love. So we are incredibly grateful for the collaborative work that our return to competition task force has accomplished to ensure the health, safety, and wellness of student athletes, coaches, and administrators. So Big Ten schools will implement medical protocols, including coronavirus testing and enhanced cardiac screening. Maryland, like most other programs, has had challenges with missing practice time and face-to-face interaction with players. Spring practices were canceled, but head coach Mike Locksley says the players have done the necessary Zoom sessions and drills and fall practices to be prepared for the games. So Maryland is 14-38 in the Big Ten since joining the league. With no non-conference opponents this season, proves to be a challenge for Locksley in his second year as head coach. The home opener for the Terps is Friday, October 30th against Minnesota. So this is good. This is how you keep players, athletes, coaches, administrators. This is how you keep them safe by doing these tests every day because you never know who might contact the virus, who might get infected. You got to keep doing these tests. And yeah, I'm excited for Maryland to come back and play football. I mean, who isn't? If you live in the state of Maryland, if you live in the DMV area, who isn't excited for Maryland Terrapins football to come back? That's pretty good. So to end my show today, I want to talk about the two potential NFC teams and AFC teams to look out for tonight when you're watching Monday Night Football. I'm going to start with the first one. So an impromptu Monday doubleheader is in store for the second time in 3 weeks. Yeah, we had one with the Patriots and Chiefs a couple of Mondays ago, and then we had one with I think it was the Bills and someone else. But it has happened. This will be the third time in 3 weeks. No, this will be the second time in 3 weeks. The second time because, like I said, the first time was New England and Kansas City. Now it's the Chiefs and the Bills. So once more, it will be the Super Bowl champions who will be a part of it. Patrick Mahomes and AFC West leading Kansas City Chiefs, who are 4-1, will face the AFC East leading Buffalo Bills, who are 4-1, led by quarterback Josh Allen at 5 p.m. Eastern time, which that game is now on. So if you guys want to, go and it's on Fox. They just started, and actually they started an hour ago, so they should be probably in the first or second quarter by now. So at New Era Field, the game is in Buffalo, and the game airing on NFL Network and Fox, and streaming on Amazon Prime Video. So a couple of AFC heavyweights with high expectations. The Chiefs and Bills are following similar paths into their showdown. Both are coming off surprising stumbles that resulted in their first losses, with the Chiefs losing to the rival Raiders 40-32 in Week 5, and the Bills falling to the Titans 42-16 in another rescheduled tilt on Tuesday. Good news ahead of Monday night. No players, personnel, etc. for either team tested positive for COVID-19. And now one of these divisional leaders will go from undefeated heading into Week 5 to a 2-game losing streak, leaving Week 6. We'll see who it is. So a pivotal matchup is ahead. So here are 4 things to watch out for in this Bills and Chiefs contest. Mahomes on Chiefs loss versus Raiders. It's a learning lesson, he says. So, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen face off for the first time in their careers. So across the past 2 unbelievable seasons, Mahomes has cast himself as the face of the NFL and a pivotal player in the future of the league. So still fresh face despite a careers worthy of lofty accomplishments, the 25-year-old former league and Super Bowl most valuable player will compete against another burgeoning star signal caller for the first time when Mahomes and Allen, who are both 24, match strong arms, fleet feet, and dynamic play. Their statistics glisten through 5 weeks. So Allen's passing for 317.8 yards per game is second in the NFL, and he has 14 touchdown passes with just 3 interceptions. While Mahomes has just 1 interception against 14 touchdown throws with 294.8 yards a game. Everyone loves an undefeated showdown, but coming off a loss. The pressure of the evening and the emphasis for each of these young gunslingers to perform will be higher. So with bright futures still lying ahead, Mahomes and Allen will lead their teams against each other for the first time in their careers. So the NFL's top deep threats will be on display tonight as well. So Allen and Mahomes each have a propensity for going downfield, and each of them have receivers renowned for hauling in deep balls. Perhaps the fastest flyer in the league is Chiefs receiver Tyreek Hill, who has tallied 43 catches for 1,784 yards and 17 scores on deep passing since 2007, which is tops in the league in that span per NFL research. And former Vikings, now Bills wideout Stephon Diggs has hauled in 18 receptions for 741 yards on deep passing since the year 2019, which also leads the NFL in that time according to NFL research. Big plays Monday are a given with these opposing receivers. So making an instant impact in his first Bills season, Diggs, 36 catches and 509 yards, he actually leads the AFC. Hill, meanwhile, has found the end zone each week so far for the Chiefs, 4 receiving touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. The Chiefs' third and Bills' fifth possess top 5 total offenses, and having 2 of the league's best playmakers is a major reason why Josh Allen describes what went wrong in 2 interception game versus the Titans. And the Bills, they just got these wrong. 42-16 last Tuesday night. They just didn't have it. The Titans, they just blanked all over them. They did. They blanked all over them. What happened to the defense? So the ascension of Allen, the addition of Diggs, and the rise of the Bills' offense has covered up the early fall of Buffalo's defense, previously the hallmark of Sean McDermott's squads these past seasons. Injuries to cornerback Tre'Davious White and linebacker Matt Milano, each of them all-star talents, have no doubt hampered the Bills. The alignments or not, Bills 17th in total defense and allowing 28.4 points per game, are more than 12-point bump up from the 16.2 that it allowed in 2019. For the Chiefs, having a defense cast in the shadow of Mahomes and the offense is nothing novel. But Tyrann Mateo, Chris Jones, and the KCD were excellent down the stretch last regular season and seem to be headed to being a formidable unit in 2020. But the Chiefs are 20th in total defense this season, and though they're the 7th-ranked scoring defense, Kansas City is coming off allowing a season-high 40 points to the Raiders. While each team as a whole is aiming to rebound, both of these defenses must come back from games in which they allow season highs in scoring and reaffirm that they're not just merely second acts to high-profile offenses, but the other half of championship contenders. So, yeah, I mean, these teams, they got to understand. I mean, listen, they both had bad games, but Kansas City only lost by 8. Buffalo got drenched by 20, maybe 30 points at home against the Titans last Tuesday. So, you got to think about it. The Bills were on the road last Tuesday.